Good morning people, hello and welcome to another vlog episode of the India Darshan travel series. I'm in the parking right now, all saddled up. Didn't have my bungee cord, so had to adapt and improvise. I stuck one bag in there, have to put one bag on the back. And today we are on the way to Darjeeling. So I checked out of my hotel in Siliguri and I don't have one in Darjeeling yet, so we're just going to wing it. The plan is to stop at a few places along the way, and although the route from Mirik also gets you there, I'm taking the Karsong route today to see another spot along the way. And then when we get there, we're going to start looking for a place to stay. Just going to stay there for one night, and soon we're going to be back. So it's going to be like a 2-day 1-night plan, and then I'll be back to Siliguri to return the scooty and then go ahead from here perhaps to some other place. So let's get started, let's enjoy the ride. Highway on the way to Kharsong, and I think part of the route is still the same as yesterday, and then at some point we're gonna bifurcate, because in the hilly areas you basically go around the hill. So even if there's a straight line, there's no geographic straight line connecting 2 points, so we'll probably bifurcate around the hilly areas. I guess the same military area, the mountains that I was seeing in the last vlog would be the same up until now. I think Khaprel village will still be passed, and then we turn towards the right at some point. I wonder if it's the gate that we went yesterday that was saying welcome to Mirik, or somewhere before that. Let's see. So we finally peeled off from the route to Mirik. The scenery has completely changed. It's a single patch of road, 2 directions in the same. There's no divider in between, but the views are amazing. There's like lush green mountains all around, still cloudy, lush greenery everywhere. And this is the Rohini route that brings you to Kharsong. There was another route back there that also brings you to Kharsong, but I decided to take this one. I've been seeing this for yesterday as well, but because I was going to Mirik, so this route was not part of the route. So this time I got the chance, I decided to take it. So let's see. There seems to be, in about 17 kilometers or so, there seems to be a nice giant Hanumanji statue up ahead. So that's where I'm going, and then it's going to be mountainous road to climb up to that point. So it should be really nice views. Really excited for that. While enjoying the greenery and riding through, I found a similar gate out here as well. Kharsong is 13 kilometers and Darjeeling is about 45 kilometers from here. Wow, this place is amazing. Look at the water gushing down there. There's even a homestay by the corner, so you can enjoy the water flowing sound. This is really peaceful. Fresh water. Loving the views of this ride up the hill. It's inclined. What I stopped to show was how smart they have made the roads of the hills even yesterday. So they have buried stones and gravel in the road while they were making it, and the cool thing is this gives it a lot of grip. So even when the roads are wet and slippery, your tires get a lot of grip. Other places should also do this. All the hilly roads should have some sort of extra friction like this, unless you have a good vehicle with traction control and ABS and whatnot. But if you have a smaller vehicle like mine, perhaps something like this is very handy. spotted this cool waterfall along the way to Kharsong. Don't know what the name is, doesn't say anywhere. There's a lot of plastic around. I don't know why there's a mess, probably because there's a restaurant right here. But cool pictures here if you want to take some selfies and stuff. And fresh flowing water, very heavy flow. The staff here says it's just called a waterfall. It doesn't really have a name. So take some selfies at the no-name waterfall then. Isn't this textbook definition of living life on the edge in the mountains? The scenery is amazing, but I guess this is how you stabilize a house here, because there's the highway here. Can't really build it there, but must be cool to wake up to a view like this in the monsoons. Finally found the Hanumanji statue. It's a little bit tricky to get here because I by mistake got into town, and then it's a little bit tricky. The Google Map shows you random cliffs to climb, so I was driving around at least 3-4 random hills before some locals explained how to get here. Now I'm finally here. There seems to be a different path to get here, which I somehow have missed. I don't know. Probably the best way to get here is where it says welcome to Kharsong. There is a road that climbs up from there. Just get up from here. Probably you have a shortcut path to get here. Anyway, I saw the toy train and the tracks in the town, so that's okay. After this, we're probably gonna head to Darjeeling because it's very foggy and misty here, so you don't get any views of the Kanchenjunga and such. But let's enjoy the view, and just be careful if you're driving around town. There are some roads that are one ways, so that's something new I learned around here. So now I understand the shortcut route to get to the Hanumanji statue. So this is the route that you're gonna take to come from Siliguri. These are the toy train tracks. You're gonna see the Nirvana Retreat board and Alita Hotels board. Turn from here, start climbing up. It's gonna take you straight up to Hanumanji, and sometime soon you're gonna start seeing him. So you can use that as a reference to get there. Otherwise, if you go into town, so now we're gonna go to town. It says welcome to Kharsong over there. I was there before, and we're gonna go there and pass on over to Darjeeling side. So there would be a train station here for Kharsong. We're gonna follow that route again, a one way to get to Ghoom station and then finally Darjeeling. And I met a very friendly cab driver. He also explained that there are also one ways in Darjeeling as well. So as soon as you enter, there are a couple of routes that are one way, so be careful over there also. But other than that, on the mountains, he said it's pretty much the tea estates and the views that you can enjoy. There isn't like a package tourism per se out here. So we saw the view. Other than that, there are probably like Eagles Creek and Haunted School, but that's about it if you're in Kharsong area. So let's get to Darjeeling. I think it should take another 1.5 to 2 hours. It's 1 p.m. now. So, and then we have to figure out a place to stay as well for the night. So let's keep going. We are a short distance away from Ghoom. Well, it's the mountain, so maybe an hour. And I stopped to show you something really interesting. Hang on. So this is the Darjeeling Himalayan Railways, or the toy trains railway tracks, and the entire route basically, you see, you come from there, you cross over. So we've been jumping all around, and there are houses, homestays and shops on both sides of the road. So it's a pretty unique scene, driving all around. The rest is all the same same in the sense that there are pine trees, mist and everything around, and very, very cool breeze. I'm not even sweating one drop. But this was pretty interesting. So you're cruising all along the railway tracks of the toy train, and Ghoom again is like a station for the toy train boarding and getting off and such, because it's very close to Darjeeling. So that's typically used as a landmark. I'm just stopping here for a quick breather, stretching my legs, grab some water, and I guess by 2:33, 3ish we should be in Darjeeling. and then whatever time it takes to find an accommodation. So we should still have more or less half a day to see something in Darjeeling, depending on what times the things start to close. Just had a very nice lunch meal. So typically here I was looking for some restaurants, but I saw that the homestays have the restaurants up front. So this is also the Legend homestay and restaurant. So very tasty homely food, budget friendly, and the mist has settled, so it's getting much cooler here. We are very close to I forgot the name. Okay, anyways, some village with an S, I don't remember, but it's, yeah, riding right through the mist now, so speed is slow and I was starting to get a bit hungry, and by the time I get to Darjeeling I have to hunt a place as well, so decided to take off lunch right here. So now we can be on our way with our bellies full and energy is high. We just crossed Ghoom railway station, found Batasia Loops. This is where you can even see the toy train inside. So gonna go inside, take a look. Probably some, not the train inside, but at least still worth checking out. I hear the steam engine honking, so it's coming over. That's the steam engine, and that's the war memorial. Let's quickly find ourselves a good spot to capture this moment. It's a rare find to find the steam engine here. It's right here. Just happened to be at the right place at the right time. So this is one of the places in Darjeeling that you must check out. So it was just on the way, and this is a war memorial, so you have to pay a 50 rupees entrance ticket for the war memorial, and then if you're here at the right time you get to see the toy train passing by. So I think this is a loop where it descends as well while turning, so it drops in altitude, and this is made strategically for it to be able to do that. It's a sharp turn but also drop in altitude. That's pretty cool. I was hoping to see this either today or tomorrow during my stay, and as you can see we are walking right through the mist, so it's a little bit cold and nice weather today here. So the local vendors, they have these binoculars that you could rent for 15 rupees, and they show you 14-15 different points from here. Kanchenjunga range is also visible for here on a good day, but if you're here on monsoons, good luck. As you can see, it's like fully misty and foggy, so they say, yeah, it's you can't see anything today. And other than this train turning around and taking selfies with the steam engine, there isn't much to do here. Next stop is Darjeeling straight up. It's about 6 kilometers from here, so let's go there and try and settle in. But this is a nice place to hang out nonetheless, even if it's like foggy and misty. Lots of greenery around, walking paths on both sides of the tracks, some resting stations, and then yeah, on a monsoon kind of season you have lots of mist in your face. It's like super nice and cool. I mean, you can put on a small jacket if you want to, but I'm wearing a raincoat. It does the same job. It doesn't let the wind get inside, so it's nice and cool that way. Okay, time to find yourself a place to stay here. There's the Dali Monastery here. The train's coming, and I don't see a whole lot of parking here, so I'm wondering if I should risk it or just let it be. Let the train pass. This one has a diesel engine. Alright, so inside the monastery, it opens until 5 PM, so I have 2 hours. So they're gonna start a prayer in 20 minutes. So the guard said there's a 20 rupees entrance. You can go inside the museum that's upstairs in that wooden block, and then go inside the monastery afterwards. I don't think there's vlogging allowed inside, but let's go spend some time inside. And then yes, basically you just park inside the white line and let the guards know here, and they say, yeah, we have a relationship with the traffic police. If there's any issue, we'll let them know that the visitor is inside the monastery, and then you'll be fine. As long as it's inside the white line and doesn't disturb traffic. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, let's go inside, check out the museum.
A few inches later.
Alright, so finally found myself a nice homestay in Darjeeling. It's by the Indian Red Cross Society. It's called Serenity Home. And yeah, so you can see started raining, clouds are down. So I got completely drenched but enjoyed riding in the rain all this time. And this homestay is like 3-4 minutes away from the Darjeeling toy train station. So while I was taking shelter there, I already called and booked everything. Got it for 1,000 rupees a night. Pretty nice and convenient, Wi-Fi and geyser included. And that's my room. Pretty much a nice big bed, cupboard storage, and a small functional bathroom. That should do it. I'm only staying here for one night and it's pretty close to Mall Road. So in the next vlog, we're starting a fresh vlog. We're gonna walk around the Mall Road in the evening once I dry up a little bit, and then tomorrow we're gonna explore a couple of more spots that I left in Darjeeling and then be on our way back to Siliguri. Until then, this is the Rustic Wanderer signing off. See you again the next time.